What could your census become?
The 2011 census is a national event
that collects information from everyone to plan services and facilities.
And because every penny counts, it's essential that you fill it in and help shape what your community really needs.
Once you receive your census, complete it online or drop it in the post.
The 2011 census. Help tomorrow take shape.
People of Britain are about to get probed about who they are and how they live with the latest nationwide census just around the corner. But there's a fear over who'll get to see the sensitive information they tell about themselves because a controversial U.S. security firm is in charge of collecting the data, as RT's Laura Emmett explains.
It's census time in the UK, when every household in the country is asked to provide detailed information about their lives to the government so they can keep track of what's going on. And who will be in charge of this sensitive data? Yes, it's controversial US arms manufacturer Lockheed Martin, and campaigners ranging from religious groups to peace activists to data protection lobbyists are railing against it on ethical grounds.
They arm a number of oppressive regimes. They also armed the US heavily in the wars they fought in Iraq and Afghanistan, opposed by the majority of people in Britain, even if supported by the British government.
Hill vows to boycott the census, despite the risk of prosecution. He says he won't be alone. Lockheed makes landmines and nuclear weapons and contracts out interrogation at Guantanamo Bay. Although it'll be the UK arm that carries out the survey, there's still a worry that the information could fall under the auspices of the US Patriot Act, which compels personal data held by any company on systems in the US to be made available to government intelligence. The Office for National Statistics, which engaged Lockheed Martin, maintains it's taken measures to make sure US authorities can't access the data.
All data processing will be carried out in the UK. No data will leave or be held at any point outside the UK. No Lockheed Martin staff will have access to any personal census data. All data is the property of the ONS, and only UK EU-owned companies will have any access to personal census data.
But it's that last point that's raised red flags for data protection lobbyists, who say that all the private information collected during the census will be available to practically any organisation that requests it.
Any use under any statute, any use by the security or intelligence services for national security purposes, any use for the pursuit of crime, any use in pursuit of an EU community obligation, so any EU rule, that information can be passed over. So it's essentially any government use whatsoever. The confidentiality has been abolished.
And UK government agencies don't exactly have a great track record when it comes to safeguarding information. 3 years ago, a file containing secret terror-related documents was left on a train. More recently, the National Health Service lost the medical records of tens of thousands of people. Thanks to Lockheed Martin's involvement in the census, it wouldn't be hard for the US authorities to lay their hands on that information if they wanted.
Data from the census is used by the government to award grants to local councils and recognise new groups in society. A census run by Lockheed Martin raises grave concerns in Britain about ethics and international security. If a lot of people boycott the census, it'll make it ineffective and a waste of money. But the $240 million contract amount will go into Lockheed Martin's pocket anyway. Laura Emmett, RT, London.